Yo, what up guys? It's Max here, back again with another free agency review and draft preview. Today we're going to continue on with the NFC West and look at the Seattle Seahawks. As far as big gains they had so far, Lacy I think is probably the biggest one. I'm not a huge Lacy fan, but I feel like he'll definitely bring an element to the running back group that they didn't have. Just like kind of a Marshawn Lynch type guy, a downhill runner, and I think he'll complement Rawls and Procise pretty well. And he could actually have a big year. I think he's like a little too slow, but I think he could have a pretty big year in that offense. They also had a Joeckel, who's like, I think he was a second overall pick or first overall pick. He went to the Jaguars from Texas A&M a few years back, and he hasn't really panned out to the extent that you'd think a second round pick would. But I think signing a guy that was drafted that high, I feel like is usually a good move. Obviously, he has the physical credentials, and maybe a change of scenery will help revitalize his career. They also added Blair Walsh, which, as a Vikings fan, you probably know my opinion on him. Ironically, he's the reason that Seattle won the game against the Vikings. So now he's joined their side. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. They lost a lot of guys, though. Well, not a ton, but they lost Devin Hester, who is one of the greatest kick returners of all time. We all know that. But he's getting old, so I don't think that's a huge loss. They also lost Stephen Hauschka, who had a tough season last year, but honestly, he's been one of the better kickers in the league, I'd say the past 5 years or so. So, I mean, that's a tough loss. They're going to have some turnover at kicker, especially if Walsh can't get it together. And then they lost some second-tier guys on the defensive end, like Brock Coyle and Demontre Moore. As far as their acquisitions, I like him a lot more than what they lost. I think Lacey's a pretty good acquisition along with Joeckel. They need some help on that offensive line. And if he can revitalize this season, he has the physical tools to do it. I think the most intriguing thing right now is what's going on with Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch. They could trade both of them. Right now there's talks with the Patriots and and the Raiders for Marshawn. If they could get those deals done, I think that'd be really intriguing, especially Marshawn, because you're basically trading away a player that you didn't have already. So if you could get some assets for someone that's retired, I think that'd be huge. And as far as Sherman goes, I think trading him would be an okay move, but I think you need good compensation for him because he's still, in my opinion, a top 5 corner in the league. And if you look at what he's getting paid a year, it's like $12 million, which is pretty reasonable for a top flight corner like that. As far as the draft for the Seahawks, they have the 26th overall pick. I think they have a few options. They could go secondary if they're really looking to trade Sherman, add a guy like Jabril Peppers if he falls to them, or like the Tabor kid out of Florida, that corner, or a guy like that. They could also look to the DLine. I feel like they could use a little DLine help. A lot of people have been raving about the Malik McDowell, the kid out of Michigan State there at 26, could be a fit. And then I also think they could use some O-line help. Last year, Russell Wilson got hit way too much, in my opinion, and his health wasn't always the greatest. So I feel like some O-line help would definitely help this team. So I'm going to give the Seahawks a B for their grade right now, just because I like the additions that they had. They didn't go out and spend huge money, but they added guys that I think will contribute to the team, and they didn't lose really any key cogs other than Hauschka, but he was having an iffy year. And I think that grade could go up if they get smart deals done for Marshawn and Richard Sherman, like I said, especially for Marshawn, because it's like trading away a player that you don't even have on your team, and if you can get something for him, hey, why not? So yeah, I'll give the Seahawks a B, and we'll see what they do this season. Thanks for watching.